You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring you in live. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Clint Davis. Dennis McCaslin is to my right. We've got about 40 seconds left before the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs and Broken Bow take the floor. We have a ton of live listeners. I want to say thank you to everybody who has jumped in and is listening live with us. Dennis is getting his stuff ready. He's got to get his earbuds in, got to get his headset on. The Muldrow fans are going ballistic in this place. Directly behind me is a bunch of Broken Bow Savage fans. And I'm going to tell you one thing, folks, if you're listening live, there is one female who plays for Broken Bow, and she is 6'5". And if we can shut her down, we will be okay. Here's the thing, though. If you're listening live, I'm not talking to Dennis. He might be listening. I have seen Broken Bow play ball. And I will tell you that this girl for Broken Bow, who's 6'5", does not have the ability that Taylon Collins has. So I think Taylon will be a good matchup for her tonight. We're about to do starting lineups. Here they come. Lady Savages coming out first. Number 5, Jules Callahan coming out first. There she is, 6'5", number 21, Aspen Williston. Number 25 out next, Deja James. And number 32, Alicia Owens. And last but not least, number 33, Trini T. Haney. I might just stick with last names on these. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Wild Bill. I know Wild Bill Keach is listening. His son plays for Red Oak. Red Oak, a Class B team, won the state championship last weekend in Oklahoma City. His daughter, Haley, plays for the girls team. Red Oak's girls team came in second place in the state. So 2 kids, 2 championship games. Wild Bill's raising them right down there in Red Oak. Now we've got your starting lineup for your Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. I bet I know who's coming out first. There she is, number 14, Taylon Collins. She doesn't have a bun in her hair. What's going on? The bun is gone. Number 15, Cameron Johnson coming out next for the Lady Bulldogs. Everybody holding up pictures of Cameron. Number 21, Hannah Boyette coming out next. And number 23, Madison Chambers on her way out to the floor. Last but not least, we got Hulkamania running wild. Jalen Mays coming out to the floor. That's going to round up your starting lineup. These are not lottery numbers, but we do have 33, 14, 15, 21, and 23. I don't know. Maybe that is good luck. Write those numbers down. Go buy a lottery ticket with the numbers of the starters for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And I'm going to tell you right now, standing in front of Aspen Williston, 6'5" for Broken Bow, that's impressive. So Taylon Collins going to jump against this. This is probably the only time Taylon Collins will have a problem with a jump ball. We're going to see who could jump the highest out of everybody. Taylon 6'2", Williston 6'5". Referee getting set, ball's up. Taylon wins the jump. And Madison Chambers, that girl from Broken Bow, had a big smile on her face. That's probably the first jump she's lost all season, possibly in her entire life. Maddie Chambers with the ball over to Hannah Boyette on the right side. Over to Taylon Collins on the left, back to Hannah Boyette, up to Cameron Johnson, over to Madison Chambers on the right, down to Taylon Collins. And that ball is going to get taken away off a pass to Jalen Mays, and it did not make it to Jalen. Broken Bow. Ball on the left side. Down low now. Shot up. Out of bounds. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball. She thought she got fouled, but that was not the case. Hannah Boyette with the basketball coming up past half court. Maddie Chambers with her hands on the rock. Hannah Boyette in the corner. Bounce pass down to Jalen Mays. And she goes up and travels on the way. Jalen not used to playing against a 6'5" lady under the basket. There is a large presence looming under the bucket. Broken Bow with the basketball, bringing it back up. Heavy full court pressure from the Lady Bulldogs. They're going to charge it all the way down the floor and put up a shot up and in, and Broken Bow leads 2-0. Hannah Boyette nearly lost the ball. She's going to pass it out to Maddie Chambers. Back over to Hannah Boyette. Down low to Cameron Johnson. She's going to go up for a shot. That's no good. Rebounded by Chaylin Mays, and Chaylin gets fouled. The shot is no good. So Chaylin Mays going to the free throw line. First 2 free throws of the ball game, and our free throw sponsor is a proud sponsor of all Muldrow Bulldog athletics and the community, Patterson Automotive Wholesale. We want to say a big thanks to Brian and Jamie Patterson for all they do for Muldrow and today in Fort Smith. The first shot is no good by Chaylin Mays. Second shot on the way. It's up, and that is good. So with 1 point on the board, Broken Bow Lady Savages lead Muldrow 2-1. This game is just now getting started. Here's the inbound pass. And that's going to be picked up by the Lady Bulldogs, but they're going to call a jump ball, and that is going to be Broken Bow basketball. We have a ton of people in the live feed. I'm looking at all these names. I see Janie Lawson just jumped in. Miss Lawson, we appreciate you jumping in. I had some of George's barbecue here not too long ago. It's probably the best I ever had at the softball fundraiser. There's a pass by Broken Bow. They hit the big girl down low, and they kick it back out. Back to the top of the key now. Ball over to the left. Broken Bow trying to get somebody open down low. Here's a drive. She's going to pull things back out, try to reset the offense. She almost lost the ball. Pass down low to the big one. Kick it back out to the three-point line. That's no good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. Taylon is going to lose the ball out of bounds, unguarded, untouched. And that will be another turnover for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. It will be Broken Bow basketball. Broken Bow underneath their own basket. About to kick it in. Pass out to the three-point line on the right side. Pass over to the left. Looking around, trying to find a cut man. Nobody's moving. Pass back up to the top between the top of the key and half court. Pass to the big girl over on the right. I don't think she's going to take a three-point shot. She dishes it off. Here's a drive. The shot up is no good. Taylon Collins with a rebound. She might have got a hand on that shot, too. Taylon going all the way to the basket, but she gets fouled before she makes it. And they will call that on the floor. That will be out of bounds. No shot, no free throws. Here's the inbound pass. Cameron Johnson back over to Hannah Boyette. Lady Savages trying to pick off Hannah Boyette. Over to Cameron Johnson. Down low to Chaylin Mays. Knocked out of bounds. These Broken Bow Lady Savages are aggressive. And to get to the state tournament, they were in the area consolation championship against Bing. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs beat Bing the night before. Taylon Collins with the inbound pass over to Hannah Boyette for three. Off the side of the backboard, Hannah Boyette not starting off too hot, and she knows it. Rebound by Broken Bow. Pass over to the left side. Pass down low. Taylon Collins strips the ball away, but they're going to call a foul on Chaylin Mays. This is a 2-1 tooth pulling, seems like, in the start of this ball game. 5:11 left in the first quarter. We're going to have a timeout on the floor. 60 seconds. We're going to be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Then we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with you, todayinfortsmith.com. We're about to have an inbound pass by Broken Bow. And here it is. Well, she's having a hard time. Here we go. Pass out to the three-point line. Out over to the right side. Back to the top of the key. Broken Bow looking for an inside seam. And they've got their big girl out on the three-point line. She's moving back down inside. Pass back to the top of the key. Lady Savages not having any luck getting the ball down low. Excellent defense by the Lady Bulldogs. Ball at the top of the key. Back over to the right side. Down low. And we're going to get a foul. Muldrow fans not happy about that. Looked a little weak to me, but that's going to be on Madison Chambers. We finally get the signal from the referee. Ball out of bounds again. Here comes the inbound pass. Out to the right wing. She's going to dish it off down low. Taylon Collins with a hand on the ball. And that goes out of bounds. This will be Broken Bow basketball once again. Here's another pass down low. I'm going to kick it back out to the high post. Back to the top of the key, and here's a drive. And a blocked shot. That's going to be out of bounds. Broken Bow basketball. Not a whole lot of action going on. Here comes the inbound pass out to the right wing. Over to the left side. Pass down low. Is going to be out of bounds. She just threw it totally away. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the basketball. Down by 1 point. 2-1 is the Broken Bow lead. They have a 1 point lead. Virtually no score at all. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs having a hard time getting on the board except for one free throw from Chaylin Mays. Other than that, the Lady Bulldogs are not on the board. Here's a drive and a shot up by Maddie Chambers is blocked and out of bounds. That's going to get blocked by Williston. When you hear the name Williston, you know that's the one who's 6'5". She's blocking everything. She even swatted an airplane down at the Oklahoma City airport. There's Chaylin Mays with a shot up. In for two, and Chaylin Mays turns around and says, let's go. She's got all 3 points on the board. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up by 1, 3-2. Here is Broken Bow on a drive, and his shot up no good. Broken Bow gets their own rebound. Pass over to the top of the key. And here's a drive to the inside, and pass out to the three-point line for a shot. No good. Swatted away. And we got a little shoving under the basket. And I don't know if they have called double technicals. And the ball is coming back to Broken Bow. So they call
a double foul is what he called.
I don't guess that he stretched out like he was teeing everybody up, but I guess they're just calling 2 fouls. And I don't know who decides who gets the ball, but they're out of 2 fouls, they're going to give it to Broken Bow. So Broken Bow under the basket. Pass out to the left side. Pass down low to the big one. Shot up. No good. And that's going to be a foul on Broken Bow. Hey, can you hear that behind me? This place is about to blow up. Yeah, get mad, sir. You're from Broken Bow. 3-2 is the score. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up by 1. 3:14 left on the clock. Hannah Boyette with the basketball over to the right side. Maddie Chambers giving it off to Cameron Johnson. Down low to Chaylin Mays. They're going to call Chaylin with a walk. She did take too many steps. She's got to stop and give the ball up before she can keep moving. And for those of you asking, we do have a lot of people asking how many refs do we have. We only have 2. We do not have a 3-referee crew. And this guy sucks. He's going to call a foul on Hannah Boyette. That was not a foul. But he's going to go ahead and call it. Riveting basketball. Broken Bow student section chanting, "You can't do that." But nobody listens to them anyway. Here's Broken Bow with the ball coming up the floor. Past half court now, over to the left side. Back over to the top of the key. And here's a drive to the inside. Taylon Collins goes up for a block. Somebody got a hand on something. And that ball's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to belong to the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Still 3-2. 2.5 minutes left in this. God, is it only the first quarter? Hannah Boyette with the ball over to Maddie Chambers. Down low to Chaylin Mays, and she's going to drive and lose the ball out of bounds. Another turnover for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Coach Armour not happy. Full court pressure from the Lady Bulldogs. Inbound pass here, Broken Bow. Taylon Collins knocks the ball away, but Broken Bow comes up with it. And there's a shot up down underneath the basket, no good. Maddie Chambers with the foul. That's going to be 2 on her in this first quarter. That's her second foul of the ball game. Chelsea Passage getting ready to check in. I don't know who she's going to come in for. Maybe. I don't even want to try to predict it. First free throw coming up. Broken Bow. No good. Lady Bulldogs still hanging on to that 1-point, 3-2 lead. Maddie Chambers going to the bench with 2 fouls. Passage into the ball game. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Cameron Johnson. Over to Chelsea Passage. And Passage may be little, but she can handle the ball. Here's Hannah Boyette with a basketball. Down to Taylon Collins. Taylon is going to throw it back. She lost the ball out of bounds, but threw it back in to Broken Bow. Broken Bow having a hard time doing anything with the ball. A lot of pressure from the Lady Bulldogs. Pass over to the left. Down low, Taylon Collins knocks away another pass. Cameron Johnson comes up with it over to Passage. Past half court now. Passage trying to find somewhere to go. She's going to give it up to Cameron Johnson. And Cameron is going to get her ball knocked out of bounds. That's number 5, Jules Callahan, getting a hand on the basketball. And Jules does not know how to tie her shoes, so we're going to have a moment of silence for a shoelace. And Cameron Johnson's out of bounds. She's going to inbound the ball over to Passage. Pass over to Hannah Boyette. Down low to Chaylin Mays, and a shot up is no good. Cameron Johnson with the rebound. She's going to lose it. But they're going to call that last touched by Broken Bow. And these Lady Bulldogs have got to start getting more aggressive with the basketball. Inbound pass to Taylon Collins over to Cameron. Down to Hannah Boyette with a drive, and a shot up is no good. Rebounded by Broken Bow. The Lady Savages with the ball again. Pass down low to the big girl. Shot up for 2 is good. And Broken Bow leads this 4-3 now. The Lady Bulldogs act like they've got a bad case of the nerves right now. Here's a pass down low to Taylon Collins. Shot up good. Off the glass. Inbound pass by Broken Bow. Heavy pressure from the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Muldrow up now. 5-4. 40 seconds left in this first quarter. There is no room for mistakes. And there's a loose ball picked back up by Broken Bow over to the right side. Pass down low. Pass out to the three-point line. Shot up is good. And Broken Bow has taken a 7-5 lead. Chelsea Passage bringing the ball up the floor for Muldrow. All the way to the hoop is Passage. Tie score 7-7, 5 seconds left in this first quarter. Broken Bow trying to get the ball up the floor. Last second shot is no good. At the end of the first quarter, this game is all tied up 7-7. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. And we're going to bring it back in live. Hey, I know you heard me say this a minute ago. One of our best sponsors here. In fact, it's a new sponsor, but they've always supported what we've done, and they've always supported the Muldrow Bulldogs. Patterson Automotive Wholesale. Big thank you to Brian and Jamie Patterson. And for everybody listening live, if you know, now they don't know I'm doing this, if you know Brian and Jamie Patterson, get on Facebook, send them a message, and tell them that you're listening to their shout-out on the Mixler link. I know we've got a ton of people listening live. I know somebody knows Brian and Jamie Patterson. Somebody's going to pull out their phone, Yeah, you, the one who just grabbed it. I saw you. Send them a message to Brian and Jamie Patterson. Get on Facebook and say, hey, we're listening to your ads on the broadcast. We are going to have Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the basketball. Hannah Boyette directly in front of me. She's going to have the inbound pass over to Chelsea Passage. Paige Hughes in the ball game now. Pass over to the left to Hannah Boyette. Back over to Paige Hughes on the right. Back to Hannah. Down low to Taylon Collins. Out to Passage. Over to Boyette. Over to Paige Hughes. Back to Boyette. Down to Taylon Collins. She turns around and puts up a jumper. No good. Rebounded by Jalen Mays, and she loses it to Broken Bow. Taylon Collins comes up with a steal and misses a shot. And we've got all kinds of action on this floor. We had two girls get knocked down. Everybody's flying. Bodies going everywhere. And we've got one hurt for Broken Bow. Let's just go ahead and pull her out of the game if she's going to lay there for a little bit. 7-7. Game still tied. 7.5 minutes left in this second quarter. I know we just started it. I don't know what kind of decisions we're making. She's going to have to redo her ponytail. And after that jump ball, the possession is going to belong to Broken Bow. And here is the inbound pass. Knocked out of bounds by Chelsea Passage. No. Knocked out of bounds by Broken Bow. Chelsea Passage with excellent defense. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are going to have the ball underneath their own basket. Here comes the inbound pass. Taylon Collins out top with the ball. Over to Boyette in the corner on the right side. Back to Passage. Over to Paige Hughes. Over to Hannah Boyette in the corner. They are not letting Hannah open for threes. Here's Passage for three. No good. Rebounded by Paige Hughes. And they are going to whistle a foul on number 5. That's going to be Jules Callahan once again. Got the hand up by the referee here. Inbound pass by the Lady Bulldogs. Out to Jalen Mays. Over to Hannah Boyette on the three-point line. She is being guarded by 6'5". Back over to Boyette. Shot for three. Good! Hannah Boyette gives the Lady Bulldogs a 10-7 lead with 6:47 left in the second quarter. Lady Bulldogs trying to start coming alive here. The Lady Savages are past half court now. Here's the drive down low. She's going to run all the way around like a hamster without a cage. And here is, that's Callahan. Boy, she's throwing out elbow. They are not calling anything. Pass down low. Shot up over Jalen Mays. No good. Rebounded by Hannah Boyette. Hannah was looking up the floor at Chelsea Passage, but shook her head no. She did not want to throw the ball that far. And that's part of what makes Hannah Boyette one of the smartest players I've ever seen in high school. Pass down to Jalen Mays at the high post. Over to Paige Hughes. Back to Hannah Boyette at the three-point line. Passage driving the baseline. Pass over to Paige Hughes for three. Booyah! Another three-point shot for the Lady Bulldogs, and they're on top 13-7 with 5:40 left in this second quarter. I need to sit down and stay calm or they're going to kick me out of the gym. We are going to have a foul on Hannah Boyette over here on the left side. So Broken Bow with the ball again still. Now taking the ball out. Here comes the inbound pass to the big girl. Taylon Collins trying to take that ball away. This girl cannot dribble, but they're going to whistle another foul on Hannah Boyette. I'm afraid she's going to have to come out of the ball game so we can keep her out of foul trouble. That is the 7th team foul against Muldrow. So 6'5" going to the free throw line. We're going to see if she can shoot free throws now because she has been completely ineffective in this game. Shot up is good. Bounced around and dropped in. Hey, we're playing Red Rover down low. The Broken Bow girls don't know who's going to get set where. Second shot up is no good. Rebounded by Paige Hughes, the smallest girl on the floor. Hannah Boyette driving. She's going to take it all the way to the hoop and get fouled. That's going to be number 5, Callahan. That's what we need to keep doing. We need to just sit her down. We need to get so many fouls on her, they got to run her out. That is the 3rd foul on Callahan for Broken Bow, and one more against Broken Bow, and the Lady Bulldogs are going to be in the bonus. So here's the ball out of bounds. Chelsea Possit's going to throw it in. Hannah Boyette over to Paige Hughes. The girls are hot from the three-point line now. Possit's with the ball. Down to Taylon Collins, down to Chaylin Mays, and she goes up for a shot. No good. And that's going to be thrown back in to Paige Hughes. Lady Bulldogs keeping the ball alive. Hannah Boyette fakes a 3 and starts to drive, and we're going to get a tied-up ball here. No, they're still throwing it around. Broken Bow comes up with the basketball. They immediately pass it to the tallest girl on the floor, and Broken Bow cannot hang on to the ball underneath the basket. That ball is out of bounds, and it will belong to the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Cameron Johnson, the senior, coming back in the ball game for Chaylin Mays. So you've got Possige, Hughes, Collins, Boyette, and Cameron Johnson on the floor for Muldrow. Possige bringing the ball up now. Hannah Boyette waiting patiently on the right side. Taylon Collins with the ball. There's the drive, and his shot up is no good. And they're going to whistle Cameron Johnson with a foul over the back. That's going to be her second one of the ball game. Lady Bulldogs have got to slow down on these fouls. So that is going to send number 25, Deja James, to the free throw line for Broken Bow. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Paige Hughes again. That ball's going to get knocked away. Taylon Collins has it now, moving the ball up the floor. Cameron Johnson with the basketball. Over to Possige. Down to Taylon Collins, and that ball gets knocked away, and it belongs to Broken Bow. 4:22 left in this second quarter. 13-8, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead. Not a lot of scoring going on, but a ton of defense. Shot at the free throw line is no good. 6'5", cannot shoot jump shots. Cameron Johnson with the basketball over to Possige. Over to Taylon Collins, jump shot, good. Lady Bulldogs 15-8, extending their lead. If they can keep up the pressure on defense, they can keep putting points on the board on the other side, they'll be fine. Here's a drive all the way to the bucket. The shot up is no good. Rebounded by Broken Bow with another shot up. And if that is the third on Hannah Boyette, we're in trouble. Who are they going to whistle that on? Nope, that's going to be the third on Cameron Johnson. Yikes. We're not even at halftime yet. We have several ladies who are potentially in quite a bit of foul trouble. Shot up from the free throw line is good. Alicia McCloria coming into the game with Chaylin Mays. We're going to see Possige and Paige Hughes. Nope. Paige Hughes and Cameron Johnson go to the bench. So Cameron just came back in, picked up 2 fouls. I'm sorry, picked up 1 foul. Now she's back on the bench. Shot no good. Rebounded by Hannah Boyette, and they were boxing out like crazy. Pass over to Possige. She's going to drive and shoot. Good! Holy cow, Chelsea Possige. Somebody give her a pat on the back later, because I'm not going to be able to see these girls after the ball game. Chelsea Possige just flew down underneath the basket, put a good shot up. 17-9, the Lady Bulldogs are up, 3:24 left in the second quarter. Broken Bow, ball at the top of the key now, pass over to the left. They're going to have to set up their offense, and Broken Bow cannot hang on to the ball. That's going to be knocked out of bounds by Possige. Possige with the great offense and the great defense. Broken Bow out of bounds. Here comes the inbound pass. Pass down low, knocked away by Taylon Collins. Hannah Boyette with the basketball, and she's going to pull things out off that fast break. She's going to set the offense. Taylon Collins was wide open down low. Alley-oop to Collins is going to get knocked out of bounds. And that's going to be last touched by the Lady Bulldogs. That will be Broken Bow basketball. Inbound pass now. up past half court. Lady Savages trying to find something to do in this ball game besides lose. Here's a pass down low, back out to the three-point line, back down low again, back to the three-point line, top of the key now, over to the left. Back to the high post, looking for a lady down low. The parents behind me are telling her to shoot, but she's not shooting. Back over to the right side. Back to the right wing, back to the top of the key. Lady Savages having to move the ball around quite a bit. Back to the three-point line, shot for three is no good. Rebounded by Chaylin Mays. Taylon Collins jumped too early on that, but never fear. Hulkamania was running wild behind her. Oh, Alicia McClory couldn't hang on to the ball. The pass from Taylon Collins, a little too high. Out of bounds. That's going to be Broken Bow basketball. For you people listening, it's just small, simple things. If the Lady Bulldogs can go to the locker room at halftime and tighten up on these small things, there was about 9 steps by Broken Bow, and they didn't call a walk, but that's okay. If the Lady Bulldogs can tighten up, everything will be fine coming out of the locker room. There's a shot blocked out of bounds by Hannah Boyette. The Muldrow student section giving them hell. Here's the inbound pass over to the right side, into the right corner. Back out to the right wing. Pass down to the high post. Back out to the top of the key, and a shot for three is good. Well, they only gave her 2 on that. That was the big girl, Williston. She finally put one in. Chelsea Passage with the basketball, 1.5 left in the second quarter. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs on top, 17-11. McClory with the basketball, got stuffed and gives it up to Passage. Passage taking her time, pass to Taylon Collins. She drives, gives it to Boyette. Shot up for 2 is no good. Rebound by Chaylin Mays. And a shot up. Chaylin Mays gets fouled. No, they called a foul on Chaylin Mays. Hey, these referees, Chaylin Mays was getting mauled underneath the basket trying to go up for a shot, and they went ahead and called a foul on her. I don't know what that's all about. Broken Bow with the ball, drive to the basket, and a shot up, no good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. Stolen by Broken Bow. Here's a shot up, blocked by Chaylin Mays. Another shot up is good by Broken Bow. The score is 17-13, 45 seconds left. Hannah Boyette with the ball in the left corner. She's going to drive and put a shot up that gets blocked. Broken Bow with the basketball now. Over on the right side. And they are going to lose that ball. That's going to be kicked out of bounds by Taylon Collins. Good hustle. But that ball will go back to Broken Bow. Broken Bow down 4 points. 17-13 is the score. 26.4 seconds left in the second quarter. Here comes the inbound pass in the backcourt. Broken Bow trying to get the ball past half court. Ball at the free throw line now. 18 seconds left. Here's the big girl with a shot up. That's no good. Rebounded by Chaylin Mays, but they're going to call a jump ball, and that ball belongs to the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. 17-13, 13.8 seconds left. We are going to take a break here in just a second and do halftime stats. For those of you who want to stick with us during halftime, if not, we'll be back about 10 minutes after we break. There's a pass stolen by Broken Bow with 3 seconds left, and a bounce pass and a shot up, no good. And that is going to do it for the first half. Coach Armour not pleased going to the locker room. She is chewing the referee's ass. And we are going to take a break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Then we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with todayinfortsmith.com. If you want to get on Facebook, type in Today in Fort Smith. Go ahead and like that page. We're about to hit 5,000 likes, and we've only been in business since November. We've got a 17-13 score. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up by 4 points. We've got halftime stats brought to you by Boyette Farms in Muldrow and the Boyette family. We want to say a big thank you to them and everything they do for us, and they do a lot. Dennis, what do you got for stats?
Well, Clint, first half a little bit unexpected, but, we do get the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs at times get off to a slow start at times, and that's the way it was tonight. But something that you and I talked about in the car on the way here, that spark that Chelsea Passage gives the team off the bench. Chelsea came off the bench and did a real good job scoring 4 points and helping to spark a little bit of a comeback there by Lady Bulldogs. Scoring in the first half, Willison with 6 points led the way for Broken Bow. She was the only player that had more than 3 points. Gentry had 3 points on a bucket and a free throw. And then there was 2 points from James. And also, check that, 4 points from James and 2 points from Teehee. So that was all the scoring, or is it Tehaney? Tehaney. That was all the scoring for the Broken Bow girls. But for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, 2 players with 4 points each. That's Chelsea Passage and Taylor Collins. 3 points each from Hughes and Boyette on 3-pointers. And also Mays added 3 points on a free throw and a bucket down low. And that's where it stands here, 17-13 to half. Tell you what, we are I'm going to throw it back to Clint. He's going to do a little bit of business, and we'll take a little halftime break.
Yeah, and we do want to say another big thank you to the Patterson Automotive Wholesale. Jamie and Brian Patterson, big supporters of what we do. Now they're on board sponsoring our broadcast, however long these might last. Another thing to keep in mind, we are going to be branching out for baseball and softball season. We're going to be doing a lot of games in Sequoyah County. We're going to do a few games. Josh Lymore in front of me, big handshake from him. It's good to see him from Muldrow. We're going to be doing a lot of games in and around Sequoyah County and a few down on the floor. We're going to have the LaFleur County baseball and softball tournaments that we're going to do. And so we do have a handful of sponsors on board with us, but we're always looking for more. So if you want some advertising, you want it done the right way on todayinfortsmith.com and on these broadcasts, I'm telling you, we've got a ton of people listening live. Our sidebar is packed with names. In fact, we don't even have enough room. We can't even scroll down. So just reach out to us. If you get on Facebook, send a private message. Dennis McCaslin's phone number is on there. If you want to reach out to him, we will get you set up with great advertising packages. We've got 3 different packages we could throw at you, and we'll tailor it to your needs. Whatever your business is looking for, we will tailor a package, because Dennis and I, we are todayinfortsmith.com. So if you ask Dennis or me, hey, can I do this for advertising? We'll probably hook you up with it. There's nobody over our heads, nobody to tell us no, and we know what our guidelines are. So reach out to us. We'll get you set up. So big thank you to Patterson Automotive Wholesale and Brian and Jamie Patterson. Also to the Boyette family with Boyette Farms, and a big shout-out for them sponsoring our halftime stats and postgame stats. So we are going to take a break and listen to a couple other sponsors. Might play a little bit of music. We've only got about 5 minutes left in halftime, and we will be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. We're out of halftime. In fact, I think the buzzer's going to go off pretty soon. Hey, there it is. The Broken Bow coach, they're going to have to get her off the floor. I think she's trying to suit up. Broken Bow with the ball. Out of bounds, pass inbound. And the Lady Savages are going to start out the second half. Here's the ball over on the right side. Callahan with the ball now, looking to move it around a little bit. Nobody's open. Here's the big girl up top. She cannot get open down low, so the only time she can touch the ball is when she's near the three-point line. Callahan thought about driving, but she found Taylor Collins on the other end of that door and decided not to. Callahan with the ball again over on the right. Back to the top of the key. Back over to the left. Williston with the basketball. Pass over to the right when she's wide open. She shoots a 3, and it's no good. In and out. That was a lucky bounce for the Lady Bulldogs. Maddie Chambers with the basketball over to Hannah Boyette. The Lady Bulldogs are going to have to start getting strong and putting points on the board. Taylor Collins over to Hannah Boyette, over to Cameron Johnson on the left side. Back to Hannah Boyette. Back to Cameron Johnson. Down to Jalen Mays. Shot up is blocked. Broken Bow comes up with it. Heavy pressure by the Lady Bulldogs. Broken Bow trying to move the ball past half court. Ball on the left side, down in the left corner. They're going to have to stop leaving that girl open. Shot for three. No good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. And she's going to throw it all the way up to Hannah Boyette, over to Maddie Chambers up off the glass. Good for two, and the Lady Bulldogs strike first. 19-13, 6-point lead, 6:20 left in the third quarter. Folks, if you're on Facebook, share the link. Tell people how to find this broadcast. Things are about to heat up. This is second half action. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are trying to throw another one down. Here is Callahan with a shot for three, and that's no good. Rebounded by Maddie Chambers. Broken Bow acts like they don't want the basketball. Hannah Boyette, shot for three. In! Woo! Somebody break out the ice packs. Mercy. 22-13, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. This has got to be the biggest lead of the ball game here. They've got one open down low, but she's the shortest one on the court. No pass. Broken Bow trying to find something to do here. Here's a shot up under the basket. No good. Rebounded by Broken Bow. Another shot up is no good. Rebounded by Cameron Johnson. The Broken Bow fans behind me are mad, but that's okay. We live for that sort of thing. Cameron Johnson going to slow it down, hand it off to Hannah Boyette. Top of the key, pass down low to Chaylin Mays. Back to Hannah Boyette, top of the key, over to the right. Cameron Johnson, three ball, no good, all air. They're going to let they're going to let Cameron know about that, these Broken Bow fans. All 12 of them. That's a long drive from Broken Bow to come out here. Broken Bow with the ball back, moving it down the floor. And we're going to have a timeout by Broken Bow, probably a smart move. They're going to get a sweat rag and a strategy, and we're going to get a breather. We'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. And we're going to bring it back in live. Big thanks to the Wizenant family and Auto Finders in Roland. We've got some great sponsors coming on board. I'll tell you what, we started out with maybe at the beginning of the season, we had maybe 3 or 4 commercials to run. And now, let me see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 commercials to run during a ball game, plus 2 honorable mentions in Boyette Farms and Patterson Automotive Wholesale. So 15 total sponsors to wrap this basketball season up. That's not bad. Broken Bow with the ball to start out after this brief timeout. Here comes the inbound pass. They're going to give it to the big girl. She's back out on the three-point line. I have never in my life seen the tallest person on the court play around the three-point line so much. There's some aggressive defense by Maddie Chambers. That ball is going to get knocked out of bounds. Muldrow fans not liking this. That ball was knocked out of bounds by Broken Bow, and they're going to give it back to Broken Bow. The two referees, Dink and Duff over here, they looked at each other like neither one of them knew what to do. And here's the inbound pass by Broken Bow. Or Taylon Collins with a steal on the big one. Chaylin Mays with the basketball over to Taylon Collins. She's going to move it past half court. And if you thought 6'2" couldn't move the basketball, you were wrong. We're going to have a foul called on Jules Callahan. That's her 4th foul. Hey, I told you guys in the first half, if the Lady Bulldogs can play this smart, they can foul Callahan out of the ball game. And she is a threat on offense and defense. Here's a picked-off pass by Broken Bow. It was a skip pass all the way across the court. Probably not a good idea. Here's a shot up. That's good by Broken Bow. 22-15 now. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs still with the lead. 4:07 left in the third quarter. This is not going to be a high-scoring affair. Chaylin Mays with the ball. Shot up. No good. She got her own rebound. Goes back up for another shot. And guess what? That one equals money. Broken Bow with the ball out of bounds now. Here's the inbound pass. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a sweet 9-point lead, 24-15. 3:45 left in this third quarter. We're going to try not to get ahead of ourselves. Ball on the left. Callahan with the ball. She's trying to stay out of everybody's way. One more foul, and she is going to ride the pine, as my dad used to say. Here's a pass down low. And a shot by Callahan, and that's good. 3-point shot, good by Callahan. Hannah Boyette with the basketball. Bounce pass over to Cameron Johnson, goes out of bounds. And just like that, the Lady Bulldogs are losing their momentum. Bad passes both times down the floor. Deja James bringing the ball up the floor for Broken Bow. Callahan with the basketball. They're trying to find a place to go with this thing. Back out to the three-point line. That's going to be number 33, Haney with the basketball. She's going to drive and kick it back out. And we're going to get a travel. Another turnover for Broken Bow, 24-18. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are still leading this ball game. 2:55 left in the third quarter. Hannah Boyette has the ball with the inbound pass from Maddie Chambers. Hannah is now past half court over to the left to Chambers. Back over to the right to Boyette. Cameron Johnson with the basketball. Hopefully no skip passes. There's Maddie Chambers. Feeds it off down low to Chaylin Mays. 3 trips down the floor for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. 3 bad passes in a row. 3 turnovers in a row. Not a good trend to be setting after the second half starts. 2:35 left in the third quarter. 24-18, the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have the lead. Callahan with the basketball over to the big girl at the top of the key, over to the left. They're trying to dish it off down low, and they do. Here's a turnaround and a shot up, no good. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. Taylon's on a fast break. She's going all the way to the hoop, left-handed layup off the glass. Good. 26-18 now, 8-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And we're right at 2 minutes left to go in this third quarter. The big girl with the ball out top. Callahan with the ball on the left side now. Back to the top of the key. Back to the left side. Callahan trying to go low with it, but can't. Back to the top of the key, over to the right. I thought she was going to pull the trigger. Taylon Collins. Nothing there. I think they're going to whistle Cameron Johnson with a foul. Nope. Who is that number? Chaylin Mays. That's going to be her second foul of the ball game. And that was on a shot. So we are going to have Broken Bow at the line. 2 free throws. That's going to be Alicia Owens. There's a shot up. That's good. 26-19 now. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with the lead. And they have got to maintain. Shot up. Number 2 is no good. Rebounded by Broken Bow. They're going to keep their possession alive. There's a pass down low and a shot up. That's good off the glass by the 6'5" Williston. Here's the inbound pass from Cameron Johnson to Maddie Chambers over to Taylon Collins, and she's going to drive it all the way in and put up a shot and get fouled. The shot obviously no good. 26-21 now. 5-point lead for the Lady Bulldogs. Taylon Collins going to the free throw line. First shot up is no good. This is where the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have consistently struggled all year, is with free throws. Taylon Collins getting set for her second free throw. Shot on the way. No good again. And then we have some sort of lane violation, so Taylon Collins is going to have a third attempt to put 1 point on the board. Taylon's free throw is up, and that's no good. Taylon misses 3 of 3 from the free throw line. And if you're listening at home, you're probably about as nervous as I am when you see stats like that. Here's a shot by Broken Bow. Good for 2. And it's suddenly a 3-point ball game, 26-23. Hannah Boyette with the basketball over to Passage. Skip pass to Maddie Chambers. She's going to drive. Taylon Collins shot down low, no good. But she is going to go back to the free throw line and hopefully do much better than the previous attempt. 1 minute, 2 seconds left in this third quarter. 26-23, Lady Bulldogs lead. Taylon Collins misses her 4th consecutive free throw. Hannah Boyette telling Taylon to slow down, calm down. Shot up. No good. Taylon Collins misses 5 free throws in a row. Less than a minute left in the third quarter. Broken Bow with all the momentum in the world now. Looking for a home for that basketball. They're going to pass it down low, and a turnaround shot up is good. And we've got a 1-point ball game, 26-25. Chelsea Passage bringing the ball up the floor. That ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by Broken Bow. And it will belong back to the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. That pass was stolen away from Chelsea Passage. Cameron Johnson coming out. Jalen Mays coming back in. 1-point ball game. 26-25. 33.9 seconds left in the third quarter. Pass over to Hannah Boyette on the right. Down low to Taylon Collins. She goes up off the glass. Good for two. Over 6'5" Williston. That was impressive. 22 seconds left. 3-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs in this third quarter. Broken Bow trying to move the ball around. Pass down low. And a shot up is good. Hardly any time left. Taylon Collins bringing the ball down the floor, and she's going to give it off to Hannah Boyette and get fouled. They're going to go ahead and call a walk on Taylon Collins. Taylon had already passed the ball, and then they blew the whistle and called a walk. Coach Armour is not pleased with that whatsoever. Here's a shot. No good. At the end of the quarter, 28-27. 1-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, and they are going to have to get it in gear if they want to move on to the state semifinals. Coach Armour chewing on some referee. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. And we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with todayinfortsmith.com. 1-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. 8 minutes left to play in this basketball game. We're going to have Hannah Boyette in front of us. Slow down, Hannah. Slow down, Hannah. I'm sending subliminal messages right behind her. She knows what I'm talking about. Chelsea Passage with the inbound pass back court. Down low to Jalen Mays. Turnaround up off the glass. Good for two. That's how you start the end of the game. 30-27 now. 3-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Clock ticking, 7:45 left. Broken Bow bringing the ball up the floor with an elbow out, and they're going to try to pass it off. That's going to be picked off by Jalen Mays. Madison Chambers with the ball. She's going to the hoop. Up off the glass. Good for two. That basket will count, but we've got an injury on the floor. We're going to have a little timeout here. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Then we're going to bring it back in live. That is number 25, Deja James, and she is going to have to be helped off the floor. She is not able to put any weight on that left leg. I think she's got a knee issue going on, and she is getting around very gingerly. Broken Bow will have the basketball. I don't know what they're doing. They've got a little powwow going on in the backcourt. The referees are trying to tell them where to go. I don't know. Shouldn't they lose possession after a certain amount of time? They're finally out of bounds now. Here comes the inbound pass. Lady Savage is trying to move the ball around and get up the floor. And the ball is past half court. Taylon Collins playing some defense here. Number 5 is in some trouble here, and we're going to get the ball around to the top of the key, and his shot down low is no good. But we do have Jalen Mays with the foul, and somebody's going to the line for two. It's going to be number 32, Alicia Owens, and she can shoot free throws. This game would be out of reach now if the Lady Bulldogs were making good passes and hitting free throws. First shot up is good from the line. Alicia Owens getting set for her second one. Lady Bulldogs up by only 4 points, 32-28. Second shot is good. The lead is cut down to 3. Taylon Collins inbound pass to Chelsea Passage. 7 minutes and 10 seconds left in this basketball game. Pass over to the left to Maddie Chambers. She's looking around over to Taylon Collins. Hannah Boyette back to Chambers. She's going to drive, and that ball's going to get knocked out of bounds by Haney for Broken Bow, and that's going to stay with the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor. We're going to take a break and be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. And for those of you who are not here watching the game live, Chase Howard, also known as Cheeks, was just removed from the ball game by the deputies here in town. Taylon Collins goes up for a shot, and it gets blocked. Broken Bow with the rebound. So if you guys are on Facebook, shoot Chase Howard a message and ask him if he's going to need bail money. Here's a shot down low by Broken Bow and a foul on the floor. Shot no good. Lady Bulldogs only lead by 3. They've got to tighten up and play hardcore basketball here. Inbound pass, Broken Bow with the ball. Pass down low to the big girl, and they're going to call her with a travel. She missed her shot anyway, so no big deal. Hannah Boyette out of bounds. Boo, Broken Bow. You guys, whatever. Chelsea Possett's bringing the ball up the floor now for the Lady Bulldogs. Hannah Boyette with a basketball with a pass from Maddie Chambers. Back to Maddie. Back over to Passage at the top of the key. Back to Maddie Chambers. Top of the key, Hannah Boyette now. Back over to Chambers. Down low to Chaylin Mays. Hannah Boyette. Boy, she wanted to pull the trigger on a 3. Taylon Collins with the ball, and she's going to throw it out of bounds. I don't know what's going on with these Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, but they do not look like they normally do. Timeout on the floor. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with todayinfortsmith.com. We're going to have Broken Bow with the ball out of bounds here. But if you're going to be up tomorrow, if you're going to be listening live, go ahead and do it. High noon, we'll be back on the air. Broken Bow with a fast break and a pass down low, and that's blocked by Hannah Boyette. Out of bounds, last touched by Hannah. Broken Bow is going to have the basketball. 5:52 left in the ball game. 32-29. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs hanging on to a very small lead. Pass over to the left and a drive inside. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Chaylin Mays. That was blocked by Taylon Collins. Taylon bringing the ball up the floor, and she's going to dish it off to Hannah Boyette at the three-point line. Over to Passage. Passage fakes and drives. Jump shot. Good. Man, somebody buy Chelsea Passage dinner when this is over with. She comes off the bench. I know Dennis talked about it a second ago. Chelsea comes off the bench, smallest girl on the court, and just gives the Lady Bulldogs a big, big spark on offense and defense. That is the most ridiculous call I've ever seen. They're going to call a foul on Chelsea Passage. Mercy sakes. The girl for Broken Bow had the ball and took about 8 or 9 steps with it, and they called a foul on Chelsea Passage. Not very smart on the referee's part, but what do you expect out of them? Ball over on the right side, Broken Bow. Pass down low, and they're going to lose it out of bounds. Muldrow basketball. Hey, just between you and me, folks, listening live, these Broken Bow fans behind me are already starting to pack their bags. 5 minutes exactly left. 34-29, Muldrow Lady Bulldogs on top. Hannah Boyette with the ball. Down to Maddie Chambers. Passage on the three-point line. Down to Chaylin Mays. Out to Hannah Boyette. Back over to Passage. Back to Hannah Boyette on the left side. Maddie Chambers with the ball. Boyette again, top of the key, over to Passage on the right. Back to Taylon Collins. Ball back over on the left to Hannah Boyette. Back to Madison Chambers. Taylon Collins with the ball over to Jalen Mays. Oh, Jalen's going to throw it out of bounds. The Lady Bulldogs have got to figure out at this point that they do not need to make skip passes. They have not turned out well anytime they've tried it. Here's a fast break by Broken Bow. Pass out to the three-point line. Here's a shot for three. No good. Rebounded by Maddie Chambers, and she loses it. Broken Bow with the basketball and a drive on the inside. Shot no good. Rebound by Broken Bow, and that shot is good. Looks like we've got another injury on the floor. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring you back in live. Lady Bulldogs with the basketball and a three-point lead, 34-31. Ball over on the right side to Cameron Johnson. She's looking around. Taylon Collins with the ball, dishes it off to Madison Chambers with a shot up. The basket is good. Woo! Madison Chambers with a good bucket. I'm surprised the referees counted it. She does get fouled. The Bulldogs everywhere are losing their minds. And I wish you could see the Broken Bow side. Nobody's moving. We've got Madison Chambers at the free throw line. No telling what's going on here. We've got somebody. Oh. Hey, folks, there's a surprise on the court. Jules Callahan, the one that we said needs to foul out, she gone. She has fouled out of the ball game. That's 5 fouls on her. Madison Chambers' third point is good from the free throw line. And the Lady Bulldogs with a good lead. Not good enough, though. Still 3:40 left to play in this ball game. 37-31. Pass stolen by Cameron Johnson, but Broken Bow comes back up with it. Fast break. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Broken Bow, and a shot up, no good again. Rebounded by Taylon Collins. She's in trouble. Cameron Johnson with the ball. Up to Chelsea Passage. Down to Hannah Boyette all by herself. Off the glass, good for two. And Hannah gets fouled on the shot.
It's gotten quiet behind us.
Huh?
It's gotten quiet behind us.
It's gotten quiet, yes, directly behind us. But everywhere else in this arena is going nuts. Hannah Boyette with 2 points in, chance for a third. There's the free throw, good. 40-31. Almost the biggest lead of the ball game. Somebody's calling timeout. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring it back in live. We do want to say another big thank you to Patterson Automotive Wholesale. Brian and Jamie Patterson, a big thank you to them for everything they do for Muldrow, not just the community, but the school as well, the athletic clubs. And I know I talked to Brian a little bit. He's going to want to stay on and be a sponsor for football season coming up. And obviously, you people listening live, this is what I live for. About 8 months from right now, we're going to fire basketball season back up. And
we've got a football season in between.
Yeah, we do have a football season in between. I know things are going to be a little bit difficult for the Muldrow Bulldogs next season. I think, what are they moving up in class or down in class? They're moving somewhere, and I don't know if they're playing 3A moving to 4A or they're 4A moving to 3A in football. I don't know what the actual schedule is. Things are going to be difficult, but we're still going to bring you coverage on away games. Maybe not the home games because we do want to pack out the stadium. I don't know. We might broadcast them anyway. Who knows? Broken Bow with the inbound pass. Over on the right side, the biggin with the ball. She has been contained by Taylon Collins. And we've got a shot up. No good. Rebounded by Broken Bow. Maddie Chambers comes up with the ball. That's going to be a jump ball, but Broken Bow keeps possession. It is 9:58 in the PM, and we've got plenty of excitement left. 3 minutes exactly. Clock's ticking. Down below 3 minutes left to play in this game. Pass down low. Shot up is good. Inbound pass by the Lady Bulldogs. They're moving the ball up the floor now. Hannah Boyette with the basketball. She is moving around, trying to stay out of trouble. 2:40 left in this basketball game. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a 7-point lead. 40-33. Here comes Passage. with the basketball. She's trying to get around her defender, and she does. And she's going to lose the basketball. Broken Bow's going to come up with it. But Taylon Collins saves possible fast break points. She does commit a foul. She will get whistled. And that is going to be probably number 3 on her. What? That's her first foul of the ball game. Is that right? Well, they got one up on the board for Taylon Collins. But Broken Bow does have the basketball. They are down by 7 points. Pass down low to the big girl. They're finally starting to utilize her. She's got to get rid of it. The ball's loose. Picked up by Hannah Boyette. Over to Maddie Chambers and Muldrow with the basketball. And we are right at 2 minutes left in this basketball game. Muldrow with a 7-point lead. 1:59 on the clock. The clock is ticking. Hannah's going to drive, and she is going to get fouled. And I cannot read the board from down here. I don't believe that is a 1-and-1 situation. Looks like the 6th foul on Broken Bow. That's going to be on number 25, Deja James. I guess she's back in the ball game. We've had a miracle out here. Hannah Boyd with the ball in the backcourt, moving it back up. Hannah wide open. Boy, why did she not drive the lane? They're going to take it away from Hannah. They're going to call a backcourt violation. This referee is awful. Inbound pass, Broken Bow now. Still down by 7. 1:40 left in this ball game. Broken Bow needs to put points on the board if they want to hope for a semifinal matchup, but they don't want any piece of Hera, I can tell you that. Shot up under the basket is good by Broken Bow. 5-point lead now for the Lady Bulldogs. The only problem is there's a foul on the play, and Broken Bow going to the line with a chance for one free throw here. Make it a 3-point play. The shot is up, and it is good. 4-point lead for the Lady Bulldogs, 40-36. A minute and a half left in this ball game. Hannah Boyette with the basketball. Over to Passage. Back to Hannah Boyette. Back over to Passage. Passage going to drive and kick it back out to Taylon Collins. And we're going to get a timeout. She wants a full timeout. Coach Armour says, give me the whole thing. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
And we're going to bring it back in live. 1 minute, 9 seconds left in this quarterfinal matchup between the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs and the Broken Bow Lady Savages. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with todayinfortsmith.com. Hannah Boyette loses the basketball, stolen by Broken Bow. Shot up is good, and it's a 2-point basketball game. 40-38. That was just a bad inbound pass, stolen away by Broken Bow. They do put 2 more points on the board. They are only down by 2 now. 40-38 is your score with 1:04 left on the board. Since we just took a timeout, we're not going to do that again. Sean Woodward listening. Appreciate you jumping in. We've got people in the chat room trying to keep up with what's going on. We had some folks driving home. And everybody's getting set and ready for this last 1 minute and 4 seconds of basketball. This is absolute do-or-die time for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. They are only up by 2. They do have possession. Chelsea Passage with the ball, full court pressure. Taylon Collins with the basketball. Cameron Johnson now. They're going to pull out of a fast break. Hannah Boyette with the ball. Down to Taylon Collins. Shot up, no good. Broken Bow with the ball back. And it gets stripped away, out of bounds, last touched by Muldrow. So Broken Bow gets the ball back, down by 2 points with 47.6 seconds left in this ball game. Winner moves on to the semifinals. Loser goes home. Ball stolen by Taylon Collins. She's on a fast break. And she's going to keep the basketball over to Posage now. Back over to Hannah Boyette. 35 seconds left in this basketball game. We are going to get a foul. On Broken Bow, that's going to be number 25. That's her second foul. That's going to be Deja James. Hannah Boyette going to the free throw line. Got a 1-and-1 situation. Hannah Boyette been shooting free throws all week long. First shot. No good. Rebound by Broken Bow. We're going to have it tied up, and that ball is going to – no, they're going to call a foul. Wow, that should have been a jump ball, Muldrow basketball, but they have called a foul on Cameron Johnson. She is out. That is Cameron's last foul of this ball game. The big girl, Williston, is at the free throw line. And she's got a 1-and-1 situation. Shaylin Mays coming back into the ball game for the Lady Bulldogs. This Broken Bow team is the same team that kept Muldrow out of state last year. Lady Bulldogs have a little unfinished business here. Down by 2, Broken Bow at the line. Here comes the first shot of the 1-and-1. No good. Rebounded by the Lady Bulldogs. Madison Chambers with the ball over to Taylon Collins. And Maddie's going to get fouled, so she's going to the line for a 1-and-1. 28.5 seconds left in this ball game. Madison Chambers has got to sink 2 free throws. Maddie looking at the floor, giving life a second thought right now. First free throw, good. Lady Bulldogs up 41-38, 3-point lead, 28.5 left in this quarterfinal matchup. Maddie getting set for her second free throw, shot up, good. Lady Bulldogs up by 4, 42-38. Broken Bow trying to move the ball up the floor now. Lady Bulldogs trying not to foul, stolen away by the Lady Bulldogs. Taylon Collins with the basketball. 17 seconds left, and we're going to have a foul on Broken Bow. Ooh, it's getting good. 16 seconds left on the clock. Hugs all around. I think Hannah Boyette got a little rattled. We're going to take a timeout, folks. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
Then we're going to bring it back in live. The coach for Broken Bow almost got teed up. I don't know what's going on. We do have a 1-and-1 situation. Taylon Collins missed 5 free throws in a row. That might be why she's the one they decided to foul, but she did miss 5 free throws in a row. And she is at the free throw line now. She has got to hit shots and ice this basketball game. Shot up. No good. Broken Bow with the basketball. 15 seconds left. Clock's ticking. 42-38. Shot up. No good. Rebounded by Broken Bow. Knocked out of bounds by Taylon Collins with 6.2 seconds left. Inbound pass, Broken Bow now, shot for 3. No good. Hannah Boyette with a rebound. This game is over. There's your buzzer. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs win this one 42-38. Broken Bow going back to the Heasy. We are going to take a quick break. 42-38 your final score. Write that down if you need to. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with post-game stats brought to you by Boyette Farms in Muldrow. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.
We're going to bring it back in live. Clint Davis and Dennis McCaslin with you at Southern Nazarene University in Bethany, Oklahoma. Such a beautiful place. And, in fact, it's so beautiful that the fans from Broken Bow are going to get one last dark look at it as they head out and go back south. Dennis, what do you got for stats?
Well, Clint, it was a lot closer game than we anticipated, to be
Yes.
honest with you. Leading the way was Willison. Willison with an outstanding 14-point effort tonight. 9 points from James, 5 points from Owens. Check that. 3 points from Gentry. Callahan finished with 5 before she fouled out. And I had T. Hannity with 3 on a 3-pointer, and that was all the scoring for the Broken Bow girls. For the Lady Bulldogs, nobody got into double figures, but they distributed the scoring around pretty good. 9 points for Hedda Boyette, 9 points for Chambers, 8 points for Taylon Collins, 6 points for Passage, 7 points for Shaylin Mays, and 3 points on a 3-pointer from Hughes, and that was all the scoring for the Lady Bulldogs. One of the things that we talked about, and one of the things that was real key, Passage off the bench to give them that spark tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Chelsea Passage, look, if we could do a player of the game scenario, Chelsea Passage would take that home. For you people listening live, I don't know, don't text her and tell her what we said because we have a whole other game to get ready for tomorrow. But if I could choose a player of the game, it would most definitely be Chelsea Passage tonight. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have knocked off number 7 in the state, Broken Bow, 42-38. That's going to do it for us. Here's the schedule, folks, listening live. Tomorrow, we will be at, what do we got, noon? We're going to be at the Big House at noon. We've got plenty of time to broadcast both games. We're going to be working on this constantly. So we're going to be at the Big House at noon for Roland against Heritage Hall. Then we're going to be back here at Southern Nazarene University for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs against Hera. And that is going to be a game you do not want to miss. Hera, the number 2 team in the state, right behind Fort Gibson, or maybe it's flip-flopped. Either way, Fort Gibson, Hera, and the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are your number 1, 2, and 3 teams in the state. And so tomorrow is going to be a slobber knocker guaranteed. So stick with us tomorrow. We appreciate you all listening live. And join us back tomorrow at 12 o'clock if you want to listen to the Rangers, or at 8 o'clock tomorrow night for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. I'm Clint Davis for Dennis McCaslin. We appreciate you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You're listening to Muldrow Lady Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Line's Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.